In addition to the crowds, Boston Marathon runners are surrounded by a sea of daffodils along the 26.2-mile route. Thousands of volunteers plant these spring flowers along the marathon route every year. Where exactly are these beautiful blooms potted and prepped? Is it A, Weston, B, Rehoboth, or C, Raynham? The answer, C, Raynham. Erica Tarantel has more.
The sunny cheer of the daffodil. It's a flower synonymous with spring and for years now with the Boston Marathon, greeting runners along the route, joining in the sea of celebration at the finish. For Charlestown's Diane Valley, they're a reminder that light triumphs over darkness.
It's a message of hope and recovery, and that, spring will come again.
In the flower business for decades, she sprung to action after the marathon attack in 2013.
I realized we had to do something because we wanted to come back after the bombing, but it was going to be scary. And what could we do to welcome people? And I thought, well, we'll plant daffodils.
That we grew to hundreds of volunteers as Diane's vision quickly bloomed into the charity Marathon Daffodils. Now every year on the Friday before Marathon Monday, supporters fan out and distribute the potted plants. Early on, Diane recruited master gardeners to take care of large planters, among them Jane Mihalik.
Community was really important to her, and she, of course, pulled in her two sisters to be a part of it. So they've been doing it since the very beginning.
A nurse, the planting was a tradition Jane loved. When she died of ovarian cancer in 2017, her niece, Cassie Fallett, and her sisters, Kathy Gore and Eileen Cinnamon, knew they would carry on in her honor.
We miss her so much, but so it just, we know she's with us. When we're there, we can tell she's like, no, you missed a spot.
Yeah.
The flowers, a meaningful tribute to Jane's family, and they know so many others.
It's just a way to give back to Boston and honor the people who lost their lives or were injured.
We have such dark winters here, and then everyone sees these yellow daffodils popping up along the route, and it's just really special.
As for the flowers themselves, they have their own really special story. Matthew Piscatelli, owner of the wholesale grower that supplies them, even made a documentary about it. Path of the Daff takes us to Holland, where the marathon bulbs begin their journey. Matt says making sure they bloom exactly in time for Patriots Day is a precision science. Temperature, light, water, fertilizer, all in play.
We know how long it takes to force that bulb into a daffodil that's maybe 6, 8 inches high with a colorful bud that hasn't bloomed yet. And that's what we want.
Matt loves the marathon. For more than 20 years, he's traveled into the city to watch it in person. In 2013, he was just feet from the first blast.
It had such an effect on me that it changed my perspective on love, life, and happiness, and how quick something can come and how something can be taken away so swiftly.
Initially, Matt didn't know where the daffodils were headed when Diane placed the order that first year. Once he did, they partnered and Olson's ramped up supply.
Now we're up to 5,000 plus pots a year that we deliver all over the city. It makes us feel great, and the more people see the daffodils, the more they smile and the happier they are, I think.
Diane says generosity like that from local businesses, institutions, and individuals is what has allowed Marathon Daffodils to endure.
Ropes and Gray has been with us for 10 years all along. We have the gardeners from the Back Bay. We have the Beacon Hill Garden Association, a Post Office Square, Christopher Columbus Park, WS Development. I mean, we have a very long list of donors.
It's those helpers who stand out. Diane and Matt say that was true when the attack happened, and it's true today.
People came together, and so it's a celebration of that kind of spirit of what we love about Boston.
Indeed, and Diane Valley says that planting daffodils in Boston was a tradition long before the marathon bombings. In fact, she was part of an effort to plant thousands of daffodils in North End parks.
And after the marathon, the daffodils are actually collected by the Back Bay Garden Club, and then they're replanted at the Charles River Esplanade, where they go on to live a long and colorful life, which is nice.
Yes. Still ahead, marathon memories from a beloved artist.